I don't know. It looks good to me. What do you think?
Yeah, that'll do.
Awesome. Oh, hey.
Oh,
I'm Rudy.
and I'm Mike. And
We are Command AV. Today we are looking online at some of your DIY home cinema builds.
And we'll be rating each project and offering some new ideas.
So let's head over to the interweb terminal and see what we can find.
Zang!
So let's head over to the interwebs machine. Oh, weren't meant to see that.
Is that what you watch in your spare time?
Well, you know, needs must. So we are searching for DIY home cinema builds. Oh, DIY home cinema. There are 52 posts.
So that's one video, at least.
So, okay, let's look at the first post then. That does not look DIY to me.
No, that looks pretty good.
That's a fairly professional installation. I mean, the fact that they've got professional cinema seating in place. It's a well-designed room.
It looks like a theatre, although I would say that screen size for the distance they are away,
It's tiny.
it's pretty small.
So, okay, this isn't quite a DIY system.
But what's the
But-
viewing angle on that? It's like, what,
It's going to be quite narrow, isn't it?
25, 30 degree?
Yeah, and considering there appears to be 2 rows of seats, if you're
Second
sitting
row.
at the back, you can get
Yeah.
TVs bigger than that. So,
In general, that looks amazing. But yeah, the one criticism I would have is the screen size.
yeah, it just needs to be bigger, simple as that.
Maybe they were limited because they really wanted the curtains there.
Possibly. Although there does appear to be a lot of free space around it. But yeah, no, it's a nice looking room. Very well designed, the ceiling.
Where
This looks to be acoustic treatment.
What's that?
Up there. It's either acoustic treatment, ventilation, or some weird speaker grill design.
And it wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense as acoustic treatment because it's not really
It's
covering
too
the
small.
first
Yeah.
reflection.
So maybe it's ventilation, which we know ventilation in the cinema room is needed. Although they've got a floor standing fan down here, which is strange.
Unless they're lights.
Anyway, I think
Oh, one more thing about this actually is the speakers, because obviously you've got a thin, you've got a small screen. Your left and right are not very wide, so I would imagine, unless the photos, there's a bit of camera trickery and it's actually a smaller room than it appears. There's not much stereo width on the front.
although see these panels here are protruding out. There could be speakers behind them. I mean, the whole post is about wall treatments, so yeah, that's the thing. But we don't know exactly where the speakers are located here. But I mean, this definitely isn't a DIY. It talks about DIY wall treatments, but this isn't a DIY cinema. This is professionally made, unless if someone in the trade has DIY'd it, which is still a professional job. So
that's a beautiful job.
I think,
anyway.
I think. Small screen aside, we'll move on and leave that one there, and then we'll move on to the next one. Now, this one, straight away, it just looks like something you'd expect to find in like a college dorms, college, university halls, that kind of thing. That's your typical £25 Amazon hang it on the wall. Air quotes projection screen.
It's like one level up from projecting on a wall.
Yeah, if you haven't got a big white wall to project on, this is the next best option. It's definitely the cheapest as well.
Yeah, I imagine that wouldn't look too bad if the room was dark. They've got some ambient light in there. In the corner, it looks like they've got a lamp on, but that's probably just so they can
just to
take
get a photo. Yeah, it's
yeah.
a good improvisation. The only thing I will say with this kind of setup, they are probably relying on the projector's built-in speakers.
Yeah.
Which we know, I mean, they're not much louder than most projector fans, the cooling fans. So,
well, in terms of this, this isn't a DIY home cinema. Okay, it's got a hashtag DIY home cinema. This is just someone wants to watch something
This is a lockdown joking DIY home cinema.
Yeah.
So yeah, good effort. It's a way of getting a larger picture projected somewhere. But
my kids would love this.
Yeah,
it's
it'd be a gimmicky thing they'd enjoy and watch a film on it with some popcorn tucked under a blanket on a cold day.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. Not quite DIY home cinema, but yeah, it's a big screen. So let's move on. Oh well. Okay, so this looks to be someone who is.
We can't really review this one. It's not.
No, it's not home cinema. It's just she's obviously got some recommendation for something. So here's another video. Someone is mounting doors, like sliding doors. I'm guessing to enclose a space or make it darker, which is something not a lot of people think about when it comes to rooms with a projector.
That is awesome.
That's pretty cool. It's like a barn door style.
I love that.
Oh, it's double doored.
That's sick.
That's a nice DIY home cinema addition to block off light from quite a large, I suppose, window.
Yeah. The one criticism I would have is if that is at the back of the cinema, those doors are going to reflect quite a lot of sound.
Yeah,
and that's the first reflection from the rear.
They do need some sort of although judging by what's on the opposite wall, so the seats appear to be facing.
Okay.
So that will be a sidewall, which means you've got no surround speaker in an ideal location there.
Yeah, maybe.
But there are ways around it, I suppose. But
I like it.
It's a nice touch. Okay, so moving on. Going back to setting something up for the kids.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking of when we do something at home for the kids. They'd love just a big screen. It doesn't have to be high quality or surround sound. Just something that's big.
So here it looks to be taking video feed from a laptop, which I imagine is also the source of the audio in this situation. So you've got a laptop, probably a long HDMI running to a projector at the back, laptop at the front for the audio.
Is that a laptop?
It does look like it. You can just about make out a hinge there.
Oh, yeah.
I would have set it so obviously the laptop screen's off and just the secondary display is on. There's a little description here. Package includes 80-inch screen, soundbar, projector. Where's the soundbar then? I'd like to see the soundbar. Trays and popcorn holders, bean bags, or chair beds.
So do they hire them out?
Okay, yeah. So they are
That's
a
cool.
hire company, TPN Event Hire.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that's quite a cool, easy
out.
pop-ups type setup where I imagine they just deliver the goods. You pop it up, plug it in, turn it on, away you go. So
that's nice if you don't want to have to buy your own stuff.
Yeah.
You've got a movie night, you've got a sleepover, the kids have got their friends over or something, you just hire that in.
Yeah.
Trouble free. Yeah, I like that idea, it's good.
Okay, this one is, we'll skip that. This looks like it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah. It's a party house.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Same company. They use the same hashtag.
Yeah, makes sense. And that's not English, so I'm not going to attempt any of it. Now I can see there's some decent amplification going on there. There appears to be some large, at least stereo speakers in place. But this screen is quite see-through and looks like a bed sheet that's just been pinned to a wall. Look, there's some hems hanging out there where it's been folded in. It's pulled tight but not taut as it should be. It's a start, I suppose, to a home cinema. It's got.
Yeah, I'd have thought if you've gone to the trouble of getting like an AVR by the looks of things and some big old speakers, you might want to improve the screen.
Yeah. Because just looking at the reflection
projecting over the whole screen.
Yeah.
But
That could be a throw distance issue, though.
Could be.
Although it appears to be projecting in CinemaScope, so it's only upgrade there. I would suggest is a decent quality screen just to get higher gain, better colours, and a better picture overall.
And if those two speakers are the only ones there, you've got. By the looks, it could just be a stereo. But
it looks a bit classically designed as opposed to a modern AVR.
But for a movie, for a cinema, you want at least the LCR and a sub.
Yeah.
Those speakers look quite hefty.
That's if they are speakers. I mean, that could just be like cupboard doors. I'm just guessing they look like they're in the right placement for speakers. So yeah, it is what it is. It could be something good. It could just be nothing. But if we are to speculate that those speakers are there, at least they're big.
It's hard to judge, and we can't really see.
This could do with being like a multi-picture, like what do they call a carousel post, where there's some of the ins and outs displayed.
It's windy.
Very windy outside. So let's move on to the next one, which is another video. Titled, and this is how you watch rugby. Okay, so they are just projecting onto a wall. That's the classic way of doing it. Okay, so that's all they're showing. So again, I'm going to say they are probably relying on the projector's built-in speakers. It's not really a home cinema setup, but this is just I want a bigger screen for the day for this sports event, so I'm going to put a projector on the wall.
If you plug in the projector output to a second, like a set.
Just any set of speakers, really.
Some speakers, you can get some half decent sound out of
it. Yeah. So that's a very quick way. If you've got a big white wall, that's a quick way of getting a very big screen up and running. So.
Not a home cinema, though.
Not a home cinema. Can't really offer any suggestions short of actually buying all the parts of a home cinema, but it is what it is. Some children watching a home cinema, I'm guessing. Someone ranting about a home cinema. Not quite sure. That's some sort of installation kit for something.
Cinema Build Systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we know Cinema Build Systems.
Yeah. So this is.
That's for a fabric wall.
Oh, so this is a professional installer. So, yeah, we're familiar with this installation kit. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Check it out.
This does not look very DIY at all. This is how home cinemas should be done. That's nice. You've got the stage seating area. I'm guessing cutouts for speakers there. Acoustic treatment area. Yeah, it's.
You've got a cable sticking out the ceiling. Looks like there's 3 pairs of heights.
Yeah.
Or some front highs and then.
This is going to be a serious home cinema.
I guess. That's probably at least a 7 or 9.2.4 or 7.2. He's got to have 2 subs in there.
726 maybe, something like that.
That's pretty big.
That's big. Not DIY. Oh wait, this is a carousel post. So.
Oh, nice.
Hang on. Under seat subwoofers.
For real?
Yeah. I've seen this design before. So subwoofers go in, 3 of them back there, and they got ports that blast out in between the seats to create bass from the seating area. Yeah.
If this was a DIY cinema, there's no input from us. Like, we wouldn't be able to tell you how to make it better in this case because we can't see the finished product.
Well, in this case,
it looks pretty sick.
If it's a DIY cinema, it looks like you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. Come watch.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's some serious thinking and design going into this. Yeah, so using drain pipe as port,
nice.
Base ports, which is very clever, because not a lot of people would think of doing that, but PVC drain pipes make up really good base ports, especially for DIY jobs like this.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that makes me think this is actually DIY, because rather than using pre-made or prefabbed subwoofer boxes, they're just cutting the speaker holes in there, and then.
I mean, this could just be a builder who's putting a cinema room in his house, and he's doing a smashing job of it.
Yeah. So.
Smashing.
So there's the finished ports. Yeah. Well, one of them at least, anyway. 2 more to go. There's some power down there.
It's well thought out.
Ah, there we go. So 3 finished ports, carpeted.
Wow.
That's a lot of bass. And it's right. Wow, that's a lot. That's some serious speaker power.
It looks like those in-ceiling speakers are hidden.
And then this grate to cover up the ports. That's a very clever design. I really like that.
Good seating in there.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think we've got any recommendations for improvement here. Maybe the colour scheme. It's a bit too light. But
I'd like to see more, like because all of the seating appears to be behind the speakers.
Yeah, I imagine this photo is probably taken just to show off this grate here, and this probably moves forward. Although I can't see any rear surround speakers, which is quite strange.
Yeah, I mean, if there aren't any rears, that would be one way to improve it.
And overheads as well.
Yeah, well, there are cables run in,
but there's lights in place of those cables, so.
Yeah, they could just be power.
It could just be power. Yeah, so that's where the lights are. So there's no overhead speaker. So it's just a regular surround system. It's not.
Right. So so it doesn't look like this has been done.
It's not been designed properly.
Dolby. Dolby recommendations or.
Maybe these would be set up as like front wides, but that's a really odd location.
They're almost like the what's it, Aura.
Aura, yeah.
So where you have your regular surrounds, and then you have highs above the.
The only thing is, it's missing the highs.
Yeah.
So
those separate parts should be high up and wired separately.
Yeah, but these are just mid-range drivers, so that's where your tweeters are.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you look at this, it's ear level, so they should still have separate highs. But the whole thing with Oro is it has the 6 in-ceiling channels. So 4 left and rights, and 2 centres. The voice of God.
The voice of God.
The voice of God.
The voice of God.
So very well done, but needs a bit of pre-designed thinking.
I think we need to bring up an image of the Dolby Atmos speaker positioning guide. So I think maybe that is maybe it doesn't fall in line. We need an overhead view of it really, but it doesn't look like it falls. Like the speakers fall where they should in terms of from the perspective of the main listener position.
The other interesting thing is, where's the centre speaker? So you got these massive left and rights. Is the centre speaker divided between these two that sit next to the left and right?
It could be underneath the screen or.
No, but the cutouts are there. If you look at.
Yeah, you can't really see enough.
Yeah, I need to see more, but.
But yeah, this is actually a really good DIY. Cinema.
That's good work.
This is the kind of thing we're looking for. Just so we can add this little tips and tricks to make improvements. But it is a really good job.
Okay, so that is not what we're looking for, nor is that. That's the hire company again. This also looks from the hire company, so we'll skip that. And that, what have we got here? Crystal Edge Technology, a new ALR 23521. That's, I can't quite tell what's really, are they just testing some material?
Testing a 4,000 lumen projector by the looks of things.
Yeah. Okay, I can't really comment on that. without seeking out this video and seeing what that's all about, I don't know. It's definitely not like a home cinema theatre setting, because I don't know. No, let's leave that one be, because it's too confusing.
We can't use it.
This is appears to be Russian or something. Atmos is tagged in it.
There's got drumming in front of a cinema screen.
Again, this is one of those, what the hell's going on in the video?
Yeah, there's no video content.
It's just a load of amplifiers. Oh, and a PlayStation.
NAD. Is that Denon?
Got a NAD there. Got, no, not a Denon. That looks like maybe an old Sony. Not sure.
Oh well.
Not
really
photo.
useful.
And Tandy speakers. Moving on. Here is someone working with wood. It's good to work with wood.
Cut wood?
Yeah, especially first thing in the morning. In the theatre room, picture this as a viewing wall. Okay, so there's a good description of what's to come, but the picture doesn't really show much. So,
wait,
well,
110-inch projector screen with RGB lights glowing from behind.
Yeah, because that's what you do.
Sounds great. Like
could be interesting.
This is a carousel.
Yes, how many have we got? Oh, so the screen goes in there. Speakers are
cool,
side by side. So
maybe a stereo setup.
Yeah. Although, is that a speaker cable? That looks like a speaker cable. Because power's already in, so it won't be power. Ah, that's good. Some acoustic treatment behind the speakers there. It's just rock wool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to stop any reflections. It's got some bracing in there to minimise vibrations, so that's good. It's good that it's painted black, minimise light, although it looks like a shiny, like a silk, like it could do with being matte, or like a low sheen satin. Oh, that's it for the pictures.
Okay.
Just
well,
these.
Could do with seeing the rest of it.
Yeah, well, look forward to seeing the rest of it.
Yeah.
What's this?
Projector on the wall.
Yeah, we'll leave that one be. This looks like the beginnings of something good, possibly.
It's another carousel.
It's an LCD entertainment projector, no less.
Short throw. Oh, that's
a speaker.
That's a speaker.
There's the amp.
Okay.
There's. So this is one of those mix and match setups. So there's some sort of a tiny speaker for a centre. There are some bookshelf speakers for your left and right, and oh yeah, okay. So that's at least they've got 3 speakers for left, centre, right.
You see, the trouble is with having a mix and match speaker setup is they all slightly colour the sound differently. They sound different. So when, say, something moves from left to right, you really notice the difference in sound when it gets from one speaker type to a different brand. Like it's just obvious that they're different speakers usually.
I'd say this is quite cool for a like ghetto home cinema setup.
Yeah.
You've got a wall that's been painted, because it looked like there was a special paint here where it's to be projected.
Yeah.
That's obviously optimised for the projector, because it's slightly off-white, but it looks quite reflective, but not shiny, which is good. And then there's what appears to be like a thick, almost like padded dampening material around it.
It reminds me of like what you see in like event speaker cases.
Yeah,
like, you know,
the felt.
The felt, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool, and we've got at least the LCRs. Hopefully there's a subwoofer somewhere. The only thing I suppose we would say here is just make sure the speakers are the same, because just that's going to make enough of an improvement to actually make it enjoyable to listen.
I can't see a subwoofer. That would greatly.
Yeah, that would improve it. That would improve it massively.
But yeah, make sure your speakers are matched, ideally.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are looking at what looks to be another professional job. We've looked calibrated. Oh, we did come across one of their posts earlier. So definitely, the professional setup. This isn't DIY. Quite like what's going on here. Decent size speaker.
Crick speakers.
Do you think that's Cricks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So definitely not DIY because no.
Oh wait, Trinnov? What have they got for its Trinnov there?
It'd be the amplifiers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not in the picture. I cannot see it.
Now, interestingly, Indigo. I've liked it. Indigo, they're one of our distributors as well. So yeah. So maybe we should. I'm going to open this in a new tab. We should go and give them a follow.
Yeah, definitely.
Quite like what they're doing. It's very. Oh wait, what's harder on the carousel? No, it's not. But the next post, also from Calibrate Limited.
It's the same job.
Yeah. Shots. Oh, and there's a few more. So in reverse order, how it's being completed slowly. Okay, and I think we'll probably make 65-inch on the budget. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Considering how much a 65-inch TV is now,
yeah,
you can buy a 65-inch TV on a budget.
I think we'll leave it on this one. I'm not gonna make any comments because that's not even a screen. It is just a genuine curtain. Curtain's been pulled shut, and the projector is shining its bright light onto said curtain.
And the kids absolutely love it.
Kids love it because it's a massive screen and it's a pitch black room. You know, it's not a home cinema, but for those kids there in that moment, it's the best thing ever. That about concludes our review of a few DIY home cinema posts that we found on the interweb machine.
I think we'll have to do a few more different hashtags because DIY home cinema, it showed up very similar results. Most of them are not DIY home cinemas.
No, there was a lot of.
There was apart from that one really good one. Was it French or Spanish? I didn't quite get it. I didn't see the language that was on it. But
there was a lot of Chinese and Russian.
But the one that we really liked, the one with the under seating subs.
Oh yeah.
That was definite. That definitely wins. The DIY home cinema review. Out of 10, I would say there's no point in reviewing most of them, but that one, one out of 10 is like an 8, solid 8.
Yeah, so for cleverness, design, build quality, everything like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well let's wrap it up there.